clip for the video coming out probably tomorrow. First video. So I actually got all my parts from Boat Boost Performance. Shout out Boat Boost Performance. I'm so grateful. I don't even have words for what I could say. Man, it's actually just like unbelievable. I can't wait to install the parts. I actually ordered some other parts from a different website. Actually had to pay for these, but it's okay. They are shock tower bars. So basically the bars that go from shock to shock. Here, I'll show you right now. So you can order them powder coated. I actually didn't order them powder coated because they didn't have the color I wanted. And I'll show you guys the finished product. I'm just showing you the primer. I don't know if you guys see, it just comes bare metal. And I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. All right, what up? This is me continuing the vlog. I actually got my boys in the back. They visited me after hours. We're basically just continuing the paint on these bars over here. I actually have a majority of them done silver. Here they are right here. Only thing that's left is a clear coat. I kind of want to fully dry so I can hit it with the clear. But that's an idea of what it's going to look like. And then basically what I got going on here is I'm about to remove the max speeding rods turbo for the new Boat Boost Performance turbo. Shout out Boat Boost. I'm going to throw this thing on right now. Hopefully everything fits. My only worry is my hood not going to close anymore because already, I don't know if you could tell, but the turbo is almost peeking out. So hopefully with that new turbo, since it's slightly bigger, we won't run into any issues. And another thing is this turbo is coolant cooled, so I'm going to have to add lines. I just removed the turbo drain. Here it is. So this is the oil drain for the turbo, it goes right there, oil feed. But this turbo is different. It has coolant channels on the side. So I'll show you how I'm gonna run that after I remove this. So this is how it looks now. And I'll show you guys how it looks once I remove it. Turbo removed. And I'm about to show you guys how that looks like. So here we are. So we got a lot more space when the turbo's off. As you can see, so I wanna show you guys the side by side of what we're basically upgrading to. But look at the turbine, size difference. Not only that, it's just quality, you know. I'm about to put it on, but I have to clock the turbo. I don't know if you guys know what clocking the turbo means, so that's why I want to show you. All it means when people say clock the turbo is position it the way your car needs it. So basically they come a certain position, and you know, not all cars are the same. Plumbing is different, so your charge pipe might be coming from somewhere else. Maybe you could leave it alone. So I just broke them all loose. You can see the bracket's loose now. So what I did was I positioned the housing the same way I'm going to need this one roughly. And I should be able to see how that's spinning and the aluminum is staying the same. So now I could adjust where I properly need the back housing. So I'm eyeballing it right now until I get it on the car. And I think we're almost there. I mean, could use a little bit of... We're not going to know until we put it on the car. So I'm going to tighten these up, not all the way, just a little bit. Throw it onto the car. Tighten up the manifold bolts, so that way I can know exactly how I'm position this. I got the turbo mounted. I want to show it to you guys. It looks so sick. And it's just propped up. There we are. So I still need to put the other bolt. That bolt, all the plumbing. Just wanted to show you how it looks. Oh my gosh. It made the engine bay. Oh my. I thought the other turbos were nice. Boat Boost, shout out Boat Boost. The external wastegate right there. We got the dump, screamer pipe. Now we gotta route the feed. Coolant feed, coolant drain, and oil drain. So 2 feeds and 2 drains coming up. My old coupler is a 2.5 inch to a, I think 2 inch. And this is not going to fit on the new turbo, clearly. So I think the plan here, so I can get it running today until I get a new coupler. I have this one that goes from 3 inch, which is way too big for this pipe, as you can see. There's too much room, but it's perfect for the turbo. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut a sleeve off of this to act as like a seal again, what we did with the drain. So that way we would slip this onto the piping, then that over that, tighten it down so we have a good seal until I order the right one. All right, so we got the pipe on. It plan worked, so I use this clamp. It's tight, it's very tight. If anything, it's about to rip the coupler. It's on a little bit of an angle. I have to get a different coupler. I will. But for now, this will work. My main concern right now, as of right now, is getting this thing running with the new turbo in E85. Because I don't know if you guys know, this thing was running. I decided to switch over to E85, so I swapped out the fuel pump. I have a video of that I actually have to throw in. The reason I pulled out the camera was I wanted to show you how good the fitment was. I cut off the end of that and primered it, so it doesn't rust down there. But I tried to remove all the gas as much as I could, so when I put 85 it doesn't bother it. So you're gonna have to do this one-handed. You're gonna have to bend this just a little bit to get it in. And once the filter's fully in, look at this fitment. Not fitting. I started shitting my pants. I gave it a little look at that. I swapped out the injectors for 1000cc injectors, so it's supposed to push some good power. We have the turbo installed. We have the turbo drain installed. We have the turbo feed. I'm leaving for last because I kind of want to replace the whole line. I have a spare one. I'm doing the coolant. I just drained all the coolant in the vehicle. I think I can pull this out now. Let's pull this out. There we go. So this is coolant and oil, so don't think that's my coolant. There was oil. You remember, this is a mechanic shop, so I'm just using what I have. Move this out the way so I do not spill. Point is, drain the coolant. Made of a bit of a mess. Basically, we took out the main drain for the block for the coolant. First, we drained it out the radiator, Mishimoto radiator. Took out the plug, and then the block. It is right there. Don't know if you can see it. That hole right there, still dripping. Yeah. So basically, we have a feed. Sorry, I think I'm doing this as the feed and the drain. So the drain, I'm gonna route it to a rubber hose, coolant hose, going to the block, trying to avoid the exhaust as much as I can. I'll probably wrap it in something. So in order to do that, this is a block off. I ordered this fitting. Hopefully, if my research is right, this is just threaded, and this is a M by 1.5 if you guys are trying to do this, to a barb, 3/8 barb, because I need to slip a hose onto it. And you could run steel lines like this the whole way down. I just wanted it to be easier, to be honest. I'm trying to get this thing on the road. It was supposed to be on the road last week, but because we're doing this new turbo with coolant, this is holding me back, but this is also supposed to make the turbo way better. So hopefully, we're gonna see if this thread's on. So we're running into a dilemma. So actually, I did get the thread right, but something's always wrong, It can't be perfect. What's the point in that? It's too long. The thread is too long. It bottoms out. You can see where it nicked. You can get away with throwing a bunch of these, like seal washers, but I'm good on that. I don't want to risk it, so I'm done with these coolant leaks. So basically, this has 7 teeth. This has 3. I'm going to cut 4 off of this and see what happens. Maybe leave 1 extra just in case. Just the line, so while I'm cutting, I could see. Still a little longer than stock, so we have room to trim. This is just before I cut too much right here. It's actually dripping still, so let's try to see. she still threads on. And she does still thread on. And is she the right length? All right, let's go. I did not expect that to work. Hell yeah, brother. It's currently 1 a.m. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can tomorrow. I think we're a day behind than planned, but it's okay. I'd rather take my time and do this thing right than rush it and have to do it again. So do it once, do it right, so you don't do it twice. That's what I always say. So that's what I was taught. So I want to show you what I did. So I basically routed all the coolant lines. The only thing I have left is the oil feed. So I did oil drain, I did coolant feed, and coolant drain. So only thing is oil feed. That'll come in. That's what I mean by day behind. I gotta do that. I also gotta wrap the coolant line in some type of thing. I'll show you right now because it's close to the exhaust. But this is basically what I did right now. This was so hard. I have the flashlight on the catch cam. So right there, I don't know if you guys could see, but I added that. Yeah, I don't like how it says China. I should have flipped it upside down. I don't care anymore. But I basically, so that line used to route just straight. I added that T fitting so I could route that. So basically, right before my thermostat is my turbo coolant feed. So that's where that's coming. That's where coolant is coming from. So it'll go there. It's going around underneath. I'm gonna end up cleaning all these wires. You won't see them like that. So excuse the mess, bro. I'm still mid-project. Still got to fix all this wiring too. But basically, the coolant line starts here. I actually got to tell you that. Goes all the way into rubber. The rubber goes on top of the valve cover. I mean, I could have went longer in here. I mean, I probably have the play to do it. There we go, to like hide it eventually. So I could show the valve cover as much as possible. But I think it's clean. It's hidden, it's underneath, you don't see the rest. And then this one is the drain. So it's coming down over here. I kind of went behind from the exhaust. It's going to the block right there. I'm going to end up wrapping it because it's kind of close to the manifold. But that'll be my drain. So coolant is draining into the block, feeding from the thermostat. Drain is into the oil pan like it was from before, but this was so hard to get on. You could see it didn't want to go on. The hose is stretched. I had to bend this out of the way. These were hard to tighten, but we did it. Everything on here was hard, but I think it's all worth it for the Bull Boost Turbo. Yeah, so we ran into something on every single thing on this project when it comes to converting the turbo to Bull Boost. I cut my hands like crazy too, but it's all worth it in the end, hopefully. I actually changed that speedometer coolant reader, so hopefully my speedometer gauge works. If not, I'm gonna have to take the whole dash apart. But yeah, I just laid the first coat of clear coat on these. So these are gonna come out sick. I don't have the light with me. I should have got the light over so you could see. But yeah, these are for the toe, because they go on the rear BC coilovers. So, I mean, they go on any shocks, but basically they go on the rear shock and they'll hang low. You can see it from here, but they'll basically stick out from the bottom of the shock right here. And I would be able to cut this toe hook so that way I could fit this plastic piece that comes with the bumper. And it's way cleaner, but right now it doesn't fit because this popped it out when I was putting the bumper in. So I'm gonna actually cut this off. And when people are like, "Oh, you don't gotta spot the toe," well, I bought those. You add on, and actually they're lower so that they don't wreck your rear bumper when you're pulling the chain. Yeah. So that's the Bull Boost Turbo. Hopefully, we get to hear this thing soon. I mean, I really do think it's going to sound insane. This is an anti-surge turbo as well. So if you don't know what that means this outer layer right here is supposed to make the spool sound insane. Like if you see on this turbo, it doesn't have that. It's just regular blades and a wall. This one kind of has a wall within a wall with space in it. I think it causes like an echo when air's coming in. So it makes the wind up or the spool up like straight whistling. So we have this here. You see how it's kind of like beat right there? And it's also like that down there. I got a new one. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be needing this because one right here goes just like that. So it adds a 90, so that way I could kind of hide the hose better. Come on. Get on there. There we go. So that way, it'll add like a 90 look. Oh, that kind of looks clear in the two back-to-back stainless lines. I'm going to find a way to route everything. You guys got to remember, this is my first time putting something like this together. The closest thing I built to something like this, which is honestly not even close, is a mini bike. I've done cars in the past, don't get me wrong. Nothing like this, though. You guys got to remember, like, this isn't a regular project. This is, like, from top to bottom, everything's been touched probably twice. Like, the turbo, this is my third turbo. Trying to get the E30. Let's take a step back and admire this artwork. I'm trying to take the E30 to the muffler shop so I can get the exhaust system welded up so that I can put an O2 sensor on it and so that I can tune it. And once we tune it, take it to the crib for the first time ever. I've owned this vehicle for 5 years. I've never taken it home. Once I get to take it to the crib, make a spot for it in the garage, hopefully get in touch with the tuner so that we can take it to an empty spot behind the house. Let's call it Mexico. So we can tune it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a sick tune on the 85. The goal is 400 wheel. 400 wheel and 2,800 pounds. I'm 200, so this car is gonna weigh 3,000 pounds with me in it. Maybe less, maybe a little more. But the point is, 400 wheel horsepower in this car is going to feel insane. Oh my God, the turbo. The turbo, do you guys see it? Look at it. Look at that turbo. Well, let me do an outro for real. So, Moogie, if you end up editing this, I'm sorry for all the mess ups and all the little clips that I've done. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. You can keep this if you want to. Yeah, man, I can't wait for the future. This is just the beginning, and we've done so much. I can't wait to see what's in the future for me and HP Society. Like, this is going to be the start of something like big. I really hope that we can be like the next TJ Hunt and Adam LZ and Cletus and Rome Natwood. Like, I really have been watching YouTube as long as you guys. I'm just one of you trying to make it too. I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.